and $20 from Anonymous. It is games done quick. Go. These runners never let me down. Hello from Japan. Work just finished up here, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to contribute to someone running a classic Saturn game. Good luck, Plumtea.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is Burning Rangers. It's a very late release in the Saturn's lifespan, especially in the US, so this game didn't really get a whole lot of attention here. It's one of Sonic Team's lesser known and played titles. It's very cool though. It's, the best way to describe it would be a third-person platformer shooter hybrid, except you're just firefighting in space with a jetpack, and that's about as apt of a description as you'll get. And right here, you'll see there are two characters, Sho and Tillis. I play as Tillis because there are a couple survivors I actually will have to rescue, and Tillis has shorter dialogue with them. The dialogue between Sho and Tillis is different with the survivors. So timing is going to start when I select mission 1. This is actually a fresh save file, so I can't select any of the other missions. I just skipped the training sequence on the save file by just making a new save file and soft resetting the game. That's not included in timing though, because it doesn't add anything, just a soft reset of the console. Okay, but just 3, 2, 1, go, and then I'll start. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so mission 1 is basically going to be the shortest mission. I guess we'll also get a roll call real quick. That is Stump.
I'm Hornlets.
I'm running this game.
I'm Orsa.
I'm Wed.
Okay, so yeah, now that we got that out of the way, I guess I'll explain some of the core game mechanics real quick. There aren't actually any enemies, well, in the first mission, it's basically just fire. It's a very sort of ambient, serious game, and sort of casually, it's a lot about exploration. One of the main sort of gimmicks, you can hear the navigator talking over voice communication. This game did a lot of audio stuff, so that's why there is, if you're familiar with this game's jam and soundtrack, you're not really going to hear that for most of the run. It's just going to be the ambient noises, because audio cues will tell you when fire is about to erupt and blow up in your face, so you have cues to dodge it. The crystals are basically like rings in Sonic the Hedgehog, however they serve another purpose. They are also used to transport survivors out of the burning building and to safety. But since all I'm doing in this any percent speedrun is beating the game, I don't rescue any survivors other than the ones I have to. And the other main gimmick is the limit meter on the top with the bar in the upper right. If I don't put out fire, the limit meter constantly rises, and then when it reaches certain breakpoints, basically everything in the building is going to momentarily blow up and go crazy. So casually, you should be trying to keep the limit down, especially for ranking at the end of the stage. But since I'm just going to beat the speedrun very quickly, it doesn't even matter. I will beat every stage before the limit gets to 100 and the building goes up in flames. Unfortunately, that cannot be said the same for all of the survivors, but this one right here, the survivors have very long dialogue, some of them, so ideally there would be cutscene skips, which there are in Mission 4, There are 4 missions in this game, that being the final one. So yeah, just a brief little dialogue with this before you teleport them out. And the required survivors also will have crystals in front of them, so you have enough to teleport them to safety. And the main form of movement you've seen me doing is, since you have a jetpack, you can chain air dashes pretty much in whatever way you want to. There's the forward air dash, which is pretty much what I always want to be doing, the side air dashes, then a back air dash, which are all really awkward, and hopefully I don't do them too often. Movement in this game is very weird, especially because this game lags a lot. It is a lag factory, as you can see by the fact it looks kind of like a PowerPoint presentation. But yeah, when the game is lagging, it completely eats all of your inputs. It doesn't sort of buffer them. So it's very easy to drop air dashes if you're trying to make the inputs while the game is lagging. To kind of alleviate this, at certain points, I will be trying to angle my camera towards a wall, just so the draw distance the game needs to make currently isn't as far, since it's just looking at a wall. However, every time you do another air dash, the camera resets to whatever direction you're facing. So actually moving the camera around and maintaining your air dashes is almost more awkward than just putting up with the lag while trying to chain them. Yeah, so basically that's the core gist of this game. It's going from switch to switch in a speedrun, opening up doors and rescuing the survivors I have to. And basically I'm just walking to the boss. Like I said, the main gimmick of this game is really just in casual playthroughs, you want to explore, you want to rescue as many survivors as possible, and kind of like Sonic, where you can do ring attacks, you are ranked for several different factors in this game. So casually, you will also be sort of ring attacking with the crystals and trying to get as many on the stage as possible. And this is the final bit of Mission 1 before the boss. Mission 1 is pretty short. All the missions in this game are fairly short outside of Mission 2, which is primarily just because of cutscenes, which will be some excellent time for donations. But yeah, just this guy gets teleported out, and there's one hallway, and then I'm going to fight the first boss, who the reason this building is blowing up in the first place is there's like a giant space plant that's kind of like Flagra from Metroid Prime, who's just breathing fire everywhere, and yeah, I'm just going to shoot it a couple times. So I do have a Buster in this game, which I will explain after this boss fight. Also, if you're familiar with Spyro games, you can kind of do turn jumping like in Spyro 2 and 3 to gain a little extra height on your jumps. But yeah, boss fights are very laggy, and lag also eats your shots when you try to release your Buster, and it's cool, I guess, would be one way to describe it. Or hot would be a better way to describe it.
Another thing to note about his charging shots is that it actually charges like, I don't know, twice or 3 times as fast if he's jumping in mid-air. If he were to do it on the ground, it would take like a good 5 or 6 seconds, but in mid-air it takes only 1 or 2. So he's going to be jumping and charging primarily throughout the run if he needs to shoot a shot. Yeah, so pretty much exactly what he said. You can't damage bosses with uncharged shots, so I need to use charged shots, but even against things that will take damage from uncharged shots, it's just you do so much more damage and you can charge them very quickly when you're in the air. Yeah, and those anime cutscenes, unfortunately, those are the best parts of the game, but you skip them, so rip anime. But yeah, if there are a couple of donations, you've got some time to read them because just waiting for the next mission to start.
Sure. We have $5 from Kevin Chai. Just do it, just burning Rangers. Money goes to Aquas playing Gimmick more. And $15 from Galm. First donation ever on my second time watching live. Loved Burning Rangers way back as a teen. Looking forward to see this graphically broken game break even further. Kill the animals.
Yeah, the Saturn is primarily a 2D console, so people like to cite that this game is basically pushing the Saturn to its absolute limit. And you're going to see water movement here, which doesn't really come up too often in the run, but the camera kind of freaks out because you need to do it. You can rise and dive with separate buttons in the water, and the fastest way to move forward is to alternate between diving and rising. And you also have 2 buttons to rise, so you just want to quickly alternate between tapping both of those to rise. Yeah, and this is basically an entire underwater complex that is set on fire, but they didn't think to just poke a hole in one of the windows to let water in to put it all out, so I have to do my job apparently. Yeah, and you'll also see the best NPC in the whole game right here. Very helpful in it. So if you like Echo the Dolphin, here you go. And apparently you can speak with it, so. Do you have anything you'd like to add, Orsa, Stump?
No.
This is a riveting experience. Broiling experience.
Sizzling, even.
Yeah, so I guess actually, since I did run out of crystals, I will demonstrate one other sort of mechanic in this game. If you use your uncharged buster shots against fire, this is the most useful aspect of the uncharged buster shots. You generate more crystals. If you use fully charged buster shots against them, which will break them faster, or well, just put out the fire faster, then you don't actually get crystals from it. So if I take one hit with 0 crystals, just like in Sonic, that's game over. And dying in this game is very, very costly because a lot of the checkpoints happen before cutscenes, so you need to sit through the cutscenes again on deaths, which is very, very bad, especially in Mission 2 where there's some extraordinarily long cutscenes. This mission is basically half the speedrun. So finding some cutscene skips for it would be excellent. Unfortunately, the only real runners for this game at the moment are me. I currently have the fastest known time with video evidence for this game. And then there's Zolaris, who has helped me push down this game significantly time-wise. Basically, sort of the record for this game has basically been, I do a run, get a PB, he finds some sort of skip or big time saver somewhere, he beats my time, and then we basically keep trading this back and forth. And then Shintalk just learned the game, so hopefully more people speedrun this and figure out how to skip cutscenes, because the time for this run would come down significantly if you were able to skip some of these. There are interesting glitches that can happen on these, but they aren't useful as of yet. So in this cutscene, I got a key card which will allow me to unlock the next door I need to go through. And you can kind of glitch out that cutscene, so you are back where the dude was, and he never actually throws the key card into you, which is a physical item you need to pick up. It's just given to you through the cutscene. It spawns on top of you. But if you're not in the right spot, which I don't really know how it just happens extremely rarely, then you won't be able to open that door until you walk into the key card. Yeah, but how I mentioned that the main enemy is really just fire, these robots are pretty much the exception to that. They're kind of like security bots, but they're going crazy with the fire, and they're trying to stop me too. So this cutscene's kind of long. If there are a couple more donations you want to get in?
Sure. Actually, right now I only have one. So if you guys out there want a good time to donate, now would be it. I have $80 from Anonymous. Hey guys, RIP Twitch chat. Really enjoying the SGQs for years. Speed runs are always fun watching. First time donating.
Yeah, so you can put those donations into the microwave, and they'll come out toasty and hot, just like this speedrun. Yeah, so I guess that basically is the end of this cutscene, and this is about it as far as the cutscenes in Mission 2 go. It's just the one where you're rescuing the dude, and the one where you're finding out that kind of how you need to save this building, because we're not just killing the boss. In this mission, I'm actually saving everybody in it, even though I'm not putting out any fire. I'm not a very good firefighter, but I'm an excellent boss fighter.
How are you saving all these people, Plum?
Well, basically, this is a building under the ocean, so it's got to be like tethered down to the ocean floor with something. But we're gonna do a crazy idea, and we're gonna freaking just break off those chains, and we're gonna raise this to the surface with the help of our dolphin friend. Yeah, so this is, like I said, just the longest mission. 3 and 4 will just blaze by, especially because 4 it actually has big skips and sequence breaks in it, which are really cool, and I wish the other missions had that. But yeah, 4 is going to be exciting, and 3 is just pretty short and fast-paced, so I like mission 3 a lot as well. Also, none of the other missions lag quite as badly as this, so that's a bonus. Yeah, and there's going to be another underwater section coming up, and you will actually see the camera sort of freak out as I try to do more underwater movement for a longer duration. And then, kind of like a Zelda game, one thing that I actually want to be very careful about with my movement is if you just run off a ledge, you do a jump automatically, which is actually really annoying when you're speedrunning, but for casual play, it makes the platforming a bit easier. It's also really hard to control which direction you're going, since the game just kind of keeps on boosting you forward since you're alternating between the two. The underwater controls are like fairly good though if you're not just mashing buttons. Yeah, so the underwater sections are also kind of maze-like, but these are always the same. One, I guess, kind of interesting thing about this game is a lot of these stage elements are randomized for consecutive playthroughs, which is very nice casually, because it just sort of makes repeated playthroughs more interesting and means you actually need to explore more casually. But on your first playthrough through your save file, every single element in the stage is going to be the same. And that goes basically for switches, which doors and paths are open in the area, which fires freaking knock you 50 miles back. Yeah, and then coming up, there aren't too many forced enemies you actually need to fight before the boss, but this will be a section. There's going to be 3 blue robots in this room, and I only need to kill the farthest back one to open up the door to the boss. However, your Buster has like auto lock-on, and these enemies also have weird lock-on things, and this is really awkward. It also runs at like 5 frames a second, so this is fun. Also, the door is open. Cool. And now I'm going to the boss, and one thing I don't think anyone understands, invincibility frames, they're, I believe, sentient, and they just actually do whatever they want. Sometimes you can just combo a boss, get like 3 hits immediately. Other times you can land direct hits on them multiple times while they have no iframes, but they don't take damage. It's certainly a video game, I'll say that much. So I guess kind of what I'm doing for this boss is I just want to chase him while doing air dashes above and hope that the auto lock-on actually hits the boss. And also that lag doesn't consume my shots, and it actually lets me fire them. Yeah, so if you don't really understand what's going on in this boss fight, don't worry, neither do I. I'm just kind of dashing at him and shooting, and sometimes he feels like taking damage. And that's a recurring theme with the bosses, especially the final boss, which is definitely something special. So, but he was still in iframes, but I just dealt damage to him again, which is pretty cool. The final boss is where you're going to see that be extremely annoying, although I kind of understand why it works on the final boss, but I'll explain that when I get to it. And are there any more donations? Because we got more cutscenes to watch.
Yeah, we got a bunch that just came in right now. So we got $5 from Pepsi Dan, really enjoying all the runs this year at SGDQ. Also, Plum, nice shirt. $20 from Anonymous. A shout out to all the speedrunners and event organizers who are giving up their time to support a fantastic cause. Faith in humanity restored. And $50 from Charlie Willis. Hey guys, love the series this year. So many great speedrunners and so many great games. Plumtea, I totally remember that type of jump from Spyro. I love that game. I would love to see some Spyro games get speedrun.
Well, we got these two guys right here to speedrun them for you.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, so I guess what just happened in that cutscene is everyone thought you were dead because you were like trying to fight the boss and save everyone else, but fortunately your friend Echo there, they just brought you to safety from the bottom of the ocean, which I guess works. And then this is mission 3 starting up, which is very, very fun. It's short, it introduces zero gravity, which it's like water except not bad. And then, yeah, are there any other donations you want to finish up? Because you got time?
Yeah. We have $100 from Anonymous. Thanks for the speed runs. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. We also have $50 from Fun Seeker. Games Done Quick is a great event, and I want to help with a few coins. Go on with this amazing event. Watching all the GDQ when I can. When I'm at work or at home, there's a computer so I can watch or at least hear GDQ all the time. Have fun and good luck to the runners. Greetings from Germany.
And then Horn here actually found a nice time saver in this game the other day because I made him play this game, and yeah, first casual playthrough and he's already finding time savers for the speedrun. There's going to be, since this is actually in space now, sometimes the walls are going to break down and the game will try to suck me into space, but I just get sucked into space and then suddenly the sucking stops, so just like that, and if I actually take damage I can move again. Okay, so that's cool. Because normally I just have to air dash away for like 5-10 seconds from that, but instead I just take damage and then I'm chilling. Which is good because it's getting quite hot in here, but that actually just might be this run. Fire also has a very strange hitbox in this game. It does... If you go kind of in the upper half of fire, it doesn't damage you, and you can actually stand on it momentarily, but if you stand on it for too long, it will drop you into the lower section and just immediately damage you. But if you just walk into it or air dash into it, the bottom half, the game doesn't like you. And then this cutscene is really good because I don't know why, but sometimes the game just makes you take like a minute before you actually move forward into... I don't know if you can call this a boss. It's basically an enemy who can never hit you and you just kind of shoot it and then it's dead. So that's a good boss right there. And then I actually need to be very careful about my movement because there was a survivor right below me. And since I mentioned earlier, survivors have very long cutscene. I didn't walk forward to hit the switch. If you actually run into a cutscene or a survivor and get the cutscene, you can lose up to like a minute depending on how long their dialogue is. So that is something I really, really want to avoid. Also need to be kind of careful here because the lag can eat my air dashes and drop me into that fire, and I actually kind of want to have crystals for the stage. Generally, the fire never really gets in your way because you can just go around it or make sure your air dash is high enough. But in cases where you actually do drop height, you can kind of choke. Yeah, and this room is very, very laggy. I know I already made the PowerPoint joke, but it's a pretty solid one. I love 3D Saturn games. But yeah, the fact that the Saturn was even able to do a 3D game that looks as impressive as this for the system is a crazy feat to think about.
戦争限界距離で待機するわね。はい。そっちも気をつけてね。
Yeah, so like I said, Mission 3 is very, very short. This is basically the end of Mission 3. I'm going to rescue a kid because we can't leave kids behind. They are the most important survivors. Yeah, so this kid, we're going to take him to one of the escape pods after a cutscene, which I guess if there are any other donations, you can get on them now.
We have $150 from Anonymous. This is my 3rd time to donate. Good luck to every runner and save the animals.
転送するよ。座標セット。
We have $25 from J. Ellis James. First time watching live, 2nd donation. I look forward to seeing more amazing runs all around. Doctors save lives, runners save frames. Kill those animals.
All right, now one thing to note about this part is that we have actually lost our air dashing ability because we're carrying this kid, and so we can't actually, do anything fancy with him. Otherwise, he might get hurt. So
Yeah.
Oh.
and
Yeah.
there's that. So one hit will actually kill you, and you'll have to restart because I guess the kid doesn't have crystals to protect him or something like that.
No, we're wearing our fire suit. The kid's just, you can't handle that, so we're gonna retry real quick and make sure not to walk into fire. But this is probably the most annoying part of the run, is just doing this. Because also if you fall here, you need to go back to the very beginning of this, and it is very, very slow, so just jump over that. Dude, nice hitbox. Yeah, and then literally at the end of this room is the boss. So, all right. There's Mission 4 is a lot of skips, but nothing really too challenging. This is the last spot in the run where, well, this is really the only spot in the run where dying or anything like that can happen.
Oh.
Hello? Okay.
Hi.
All right, I'm just going to wait for that fire to pass. If you're fast enough, you can just go by it, and I thought I was, but I guess since I needed to reorient myself at the beginning.
This run's not so hot anymore.
It's cooled down, dude. We need to put it back in the
Yeah,
oven.
all right. There's still time.
Yeah, so I'm just going to wait for this fire to pass because apparently hitboxes are way too strong for me.
通信状況が悪化してきたわ。脱出急いで。
And another weird thing about this game is that in order to change your camera, you have to hit one of the bumper buttons, but it doesn't move it smoothly like you would expect. It actually changes it 90 degrees in one direction, which is kind of annoying, but it actually works well for that section.
And also the fact that your camera changes, so I guess kind of like Spyro again, where when you're charging, the camera automatically locks back behind you. It does that every single time you jump, which means even if you reorient your camera, you might need to do it again 2 seconds later. So yeah, I should have just waited for that fire, but I wanted to do the fast strat to save like a second, and then I lost more than a second. Maybe just a little more though. But yeah, this boss is also just like the second boss. If you don't understand what's going on, neither do I. It's like kinda Nightmare from Metroid Fusion, except the iframes don't make sense at all, and the hitbox doesn't make sense, and the auto aim on your shot doesn't make sense. So basically, I just kind of jump and shoot, and it's dead. Sometimes very quickly, in like 15 seconds. Other times, nothing happens, and it takes a lot longer than that for apparently no reason. This boss is really good.
かけてくるのは。防御装置が動き始めたわ。早く逃げて。
Yeah, because sometimes iframes just actually don't mean anything, and sometimes they do. And sometimes you auto lock on. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I think I explained that boss as well as I could have. Yeah, the auto lock on for your shot is just really awkward, especially on that fight, because it wants to lock onto literally everything, including the walls, because apparently walls are great things to lock onto. Although I guess that's really the only section in the game. Actually, I think that is the only section in the game with curved walls. Everything else is a complete straight line or hallway. And then this is the final stage. This stage owns. It is the best part of the speedrun by like 10 miles. One, we get the jam and soundtrack, which we will see in the stage. Two, there's a ton of cool skips and stuff. And three, we don't need to worry about rescuing any survivors. I just get to play the speedrun game thing. And it's awesome. So right here, I skip pushing a switch to raise platforms. So that's a big time saver, and that's awesome. Right here, I'm supposed to fight a mid-boss. And this mid-boss actually is very, very annoying because the hitbox also doesn't make sense, like basically every hitbox in this game. So I just entirely skip the mid-boss. Yeah. And then now we've got a water section, and water movement is very fun. When you don't get stuck on literally everything, but that is a recurring theme. Yeah, if the frame rate and lag look not the best, well, don't worry, they aren't the best. That's not just the stream. So yeah, if you have bad internet, this is a great game to stream because you can get away with just streaming at like 10 frames a second, and I don't think anyone will notice.
They might see it on your timer.
That is true. Just run it at lower speed. Cut out decimals.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're about to enter the fire zone, which is awesome because it's literally just platforming. And the movement mechanics in this game are really cool for platforming, and you only see it in this single screen in the whole game. And I don't know what this screen even is, but this is certainly a building in outer space, I think. The movement is very sort of floaty, and the draw distance is really not the best. Also, I'm skipping like 90% of it right now. Yeah, so that happened. And right after this will be the boss of this area, but don't worry, this is not the final bit of the game because this boss is going to be an extreme pushover, and the iframes on this boss actually make sense. So this is the best enemy in the game. It is just a big blue crystal, and then you shoot it a bunch and it dies, and you don't actually do anything else. Yeah, so that was a boss. So now we're going to get treated to not just an anime cutscene, but we're going to get an anime cutscene and then the best auto-scroller on the Sega Saturn. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to hear this jamming tune.
It's a bold claim. There's a lot of those. I mean, Mega Man 8 has like 5 of them alone, so...
There's also Jet Stingray.
Yeah, true.
Well, we've already seen a Frostman death and a Jet Stingray death in the SGDQs. Will we see a death in this?
Hopefully not.
You better not die.
Do you want to see me try?
No.
Neither do I. Yeah, so basically all that's going to happen during this auto-scroller is there's going to be like these green double pyramids like Twitch Cheer 100. So yeah, it's Cheer 100. I'm going to pick up those and I'm going to get boost speed. Yeah. Then I go kind of fast and I need to not hit things, but I will hit things.
Don't hit things.
But I want to show off what happens when you hit things.
Okay.
Like that. You lose all your crystals and speed, but then you pick up another boost power-up, and then you're chilling. You've also got lasers you can fire to destroy obstacles, but generally it's just easier to dodge them. Because the hitbox on your lasers, now your weapon doesn't make sense. Yeah, so this is going to go on for a bit longer. If you want to get any donations in that have popped up.
Sure. We have $20 from Anonymous. This is one of my favorite games of all time, so it's great to see it get some love. Have fun, guys.
Yo, thank you.
And $20 from Peanut Butter Tommy. Have good runs, everybody. $10 for the Skyrim Glitch Exhibition and 10 to save the animals. Because they have feelings too, dang it.
You didn't die. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And we got a high score, too.
Hey, there
Whoa.
you go.
High rolling.
Man, it must have been pretty hard to beat that score 0 there. I don't think I could beat that.
I think we should be doing low score attempts. Yeah, so right after this cutscene, though, we're going to load into another bit of actual platforming in the stage, and I'm going to do multiple cutscene skips, hopefully, just in very rapid succession that will save a ridiculous amount of time. And I might need to take a little bit to set them up because the first one is very precise to actually get. So if I trigger this first cutscene, I am not surprised at all. Yeah, trying to do it with just the camera only rotating 90 degrees and the fact I'm just standing in midair make that cutscene skip very hard to do, and I just skipped 2 very long cutscenes, and this is going to skip a 3rd very long cutscene after I kill whatever this thing is supposed to be. Basically, what's going on, if you saw me enter that last room with Big Landman, which is his name, he's the one of the other Burning Rangers. Basically, Big Landman was supposed to be entering this room with me, but I skipped all of his cutscenes, and he was never by the door, so he was never able to enter this room. And this next super long cutscene that is supposed to occur in this room, well, Big can't enter this room because he's in a different room. Now he's just chilling, doing something over there. So see you, Big. Now he's in this room. So I don't know what he's doing, but I like that he's not giving me like multiple minute-long cutscenes. And also, I'm approaching the final bosses right now. I wish I could describe them in any sort of meaningful way, but like a girl, her brain was uploaded into like a computer or a space colony, and then the space colony got a virus, and she's in a coma, but right now the space colony is like crashing into the Earth, so I need to delete the virus or something. But this is a boss. This boss is not fun. It happens. Okay, and yeah, this next phase is very, very stupid, and I hate this boss. Do either of you know how this boss works, or do I need to explain it?
I don't even know what this boss is.
Okay, basically this boss, you're supposed to only be able to hit it once a cycle, and you need to destroy these like 2 shields on both sides of it before you can actually damage it. But for some reason, you can, if I get it, no, I didn't, and these spawned. I don't know why, but sometimes you can just hit it early on, and you can also hit this boss multiple times for no apparent reason, because iframes in this game actually do whatever they want. Also, auto-homing on this fight makes getting multiple hits much stupider than it actually should be. Like, also, oh, there's a double, okay. Hopefully I can get a triple, because you save a lot of time every single one of those you get, since you're skipping entire cycles of doing this.
And time is coming up right away, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right when he lands the last hit on the boss.
Okay, so hopefully I can get a triple here, which will kill the boss. And I didn't even get a double, okay.
Just get a double.
I love this boss. I love games where iframes don't make sense. Also, even if there was a consistent setup, which I've looked for this. Okay, cool. I only got 1 extra hit, which really sucks. My PB gets like 5 of them. Okay, that's time. Okay, well, I showed off 1 double. And yeah, actually, it's not just doubles or triples. You can just unlock the boss for the entire fight, but no one has ever done it because it's dumb. And I got a 36-24, so that is the time. Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
Good job.
Spicy run.
Oh,
Yeah, that run was lit.
It wasn't mild, at least. All right, so yeah, thanks for watching Burning Rangers. Very cool game. Shout outs to all the Saturn runners for just any game. Also, Rudy, who couldn't be here. Rudix, Prickly Rabbite, whatever other names he goes by. So yeah, also shout outs to Rollbuster, and yeah, okay, we're done.